take the United States. The United States had what, $4 billion of Bitcoin? Like how much Bitcoin? They had 50,000? No. People say they've got more Bitcoin than MicroStrategy. So let's say that the United States has $10 billion of Bitcoin. They could sell it for $10 billion. Any intelligent bureaucrat, if they just wanted to make another $20 billion risk-free for the United States of America, all they'd have to do is draft a one-paragraph press release saying, we have it, and we've decided we're going to keep it.
We're going to HODL.
That's all you would have to do. Yeah. And you would go from having $10 billion of Bitcoin to having $30 billion of Bitcoin, right? Just one paragraph press release, and you make $20 billion risk-free. And any bureaucrat that thought, well, I just like to have $100 billion, for the taxpayers, they would simply buy another few billion dollars. Then they would put out that 2-paragraph press release. We're keeping what we have, and from time to time, we're going to buy more, like last week. And then you would have $100 billion. Okay, so just make a list of every country on Earth, and then you ask yourself the question, how many of them would rather have $100 billion risk-free than spend $100 billion over the next 10 years attacking Bitcoin to destroy it?
Mm-hmm. With the almost certain approval of a spot Bitcoin ETF on the horizon within the next 6 months, there's a growing anticipation among institutional and sophisticated investors for Bitcoin. However, Michael Saylor takes this anticipation one step further by suggesting that, similar to El Salvador's adoption of Bitcoin in 2021, more countries may begin to embrace Bitcoin as well. While it might sound unconventional, it's not an entirely implausible scenario. Governments traditionally hold various assets, including debt bonds and physical commodities like gold and oil, as part of their reserve holdings. If Bitcoin establishes itself as a new asset class, akin to a digital commodity, it's not beyond the realm of possibility that governments might consider including Bitcoin in their reserve portfolios. In a recent interview with Robert Breedlove, Saylor delves into Bitcoin's future, emphasizing its revolutionary potential. Towards the end of the interview, Saylor sheds light on why he believes the world increasingly needs Bitcoin, particularly in an era of escalating digitization.
You're down to a very short list, right? And so, Bitcoin is just the most well thought through cybersecurity network. And I think it's worthwhile dwelling on this issue of power and energy and security, because of course all physical security has to come from military power. Mm-hmm. It has to come from power. If you don't have power, right, you're the 998th Indian tribe that got, pushed off their land, and people don't even write books about you lamenting how you were mistreated. Right? They only write the books about the top 300 Indian tribes that were mistreated. Mm-hmm. When you get far enough down on the totem pole, right, there's 10,000 tribes that got squeezed out of Europe by Romans and the Gauls and fill in the blank over the past 20,000 years, and we don't even lament them. Right. We only lament the famous ones. So if you don't have a lot of power, right, there's no hope for you. And as we go forward, you can see our wars shift from land power to sea power to air power to space power to cyber power. If you hope to have economic health, mental health, physical health, political health, you're going to have to control your cyberspace. And it doesn't matter whether you're Robert Breedlove simply controlling the cyberspace, your identity online. I launched 10,000 fake Robert Breedloves. I can destroy you if you can't stop it, right? If they're scammers. You have to control your space. A family has to control their space. Twitter has to control its cyberspace, lest, a billion toxic bots corrupt everything. And so does every company, so does every bank, so does every government, so does every politician. So I think we're early. We're early, and In the first 14 years, people started to recognize Bitcoin as a great monetary network and the greatest, hardest money humanity ever created. But the only reason we could create the hard money is because of the integrity of the network. They solved the problem of digital integrity. How do you create a truth machine first? They had to solve the double spin problem. They had to solve the problem. How do I know it's truthful? And then they had to solve the integrity problem. How do I keep the money on the network for 100 years? And since they solved the problem of truth and integrity, the killer app they put on it is money. And now we're entering a new era, and money will always be half. It'll be half, right? But the other half, is how do you defend your reputation? How do you defend your commercial interest? How do you defend your political interest? How do you defend your corporation, your nation, your family, whatever it might be? And that is a problem that Bitcoin is extremely well suited to serve. I still, I shudder to say this on the podcast, but I will in the interest of public good. I still have certain bankers that call me to authenticate wire transfers of large sums of money. And they say, I gotta start with a security question. What's your date of birth? And you can Google Michael Saylor and you don't even have to click to get my date of birth. It serves up my data. That would only be on like 1 billion documents. Yeah. That's the security seal question, right? Now, in their defense, there's a lot of other layers, right?
Right. Like
my phone, my voice, and a lot of other questions they might ask me that I won't mention on this call for other reasons. But if there's a message here, the message is the world needs digital signatures. The world needs modern cryptography. The world needs multi-signature authentication. The world needs multi-factor authentication where the factors are physical tokens and physical instruments. The world needs an open protocol, and the world needs something verifiable, maybe verifiably indestructible and immutable for the next 100 or thousands of years. And there's only one thing in the world that looks like that, and that's Bitcoin, and there is no second best thing. The dematerialization of notary networks, the dematerialization of licensing networks, of titling networks, of passport networks, of all commercial verification networks, right? All of those things, right? Bitcoin becomes the foundation of cyberspace. It becomes the ultimate digital network if you need a network that will defend the integrity of commerce on the internet and serve as a worldwide truth machine that is powered by digital power. Right? The most powerful cyber network in the world. The most powerful will be the most reliable, the most truthful, the most resilient, the most indestructible, the most immortal. And it's just getting more powerful. And if you want to build something, with integrity in cyberspace, you're going to want to build on that foundation. Everything else is fragile and corruptible. And so I think the early Bitcoiners, they grasped that as the foundation for sound money. But if you fix the money in the world, you didn't fix the world. as long as there's one person that can conscript 10 million people or launch an army of 10 million robots, on someone else they disagree with, you still have problems in the world. So half of the problems in the world may be fixed with a sound financial foundation, but the other half of the problems in the world have to be fixed with a mechanism to deliver truth and integrity into the political sphere and the commercial sphere.
And Bitcoin's addressing both.
Yeah, Bitcoin is the solution to both.
That's incredible.
At the forefront of the crypto revolution stands Michael Saylor, a prominent voice whose audacious forecasts and in-depth analysis of Bitcoin's role in the ever-evolving digital economy offer a compelling vision of a world poised for transformation. From the impending approval of a spot Bitcoin ETF to the potential of countries assimilating Bitcoin as part of their economic strategy, we are indeed witnessing a transformative period in financial history. Michael Saylor's insights into Bitcoin's revolutionary potential are shedding light on the profound changes that await us in the evolving digital landscape, where cryptocurrencies are reshaping the way we think about finance and the global economy. For more Daily Dose Crypto news, check out these 2 awesome videos on your screen. Click now and we will see you on the next video.